Bank of England slashes interest rates to 4%. Does it mean that Bitcoin will have enough fuel to continue to pump? Or is this your chance to sell the news before a crash? Let's analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise and let's analyze Bitcoin. In the previous videos we have been analyzing that with the highest probability we will start crashing from this resistance right here. After that happened, I have told you I want to see a retest of this neckline. As you can see, we are doing exactly that right now. Well, and the question is, can this resistance hold and can we continue in our downside movement towards $109,000, or indeed this is going to break and we are going to $135,000. Let's calculate the probabilities, ladies and gentlemen. We will be using Elliott wave theory. We will be taking a look at some order flow and other technical and insider data. All of this we will take in consideration and it will help us to understand what's going to happen next with the highest probability. So first of all, let's take a look at our fear and greed index that you can find on our website mycryptoparadise.com. With the help of AI, we are analyzing what's going on across multiple social media, and I've been updating you about the 4-hour time frame that we are creating 5 moves to the upside. This was the first wave, secondary wave, third wave, fourth wave, and right now we are creating a 5th wave. And you know about the magical numbers 80 and 20, right? So we are looking for retest of that 80, ladies and gentlemen. After that we are completing 5 moves to the upside, and I do believe that it will nicely confluence with the extreme greed and we will have a reversal. If we take a look at the chart right here, we can clearly see that what I have been telling you is happening. I have told you short squeeze is incoming, right? So you can see that we are getting loads of liquidations along the way as we are going to the upside. Who is creating the pressure? Some smart money, or we are liquidating retail? That is very important to understand if you want to say with higher probability there is going to be a continuation of this move or there will be a reversal. So continuation of this move or reversal, what is more likely based on analyzing this section? Let's take a look. You can see that the liquidations of short positions in a massive structure like this usually happens at the tops and results in a reversal to the downside on a lower scale like this and on a larger scale as well. All right, this is loads of liquidation stacked ones. So I have told you in the previous video that we are seeing loads of positions, loads of short positions to be opened right here at the support, and they are getting liquidated exactly right now. We can take a look at the open interest, ladies and gentlemen, on this final move to the upside. It's very interesting because you can see somebody is fear of missing out into long positions on this, in my opinion, a final move. So take a look at the open interest. Loads of open interest increasing. Is it short positions increasing or long positions? Well, if we take a look at the net long positions, we can clearly see that the long positions are getting in the market, but the short positions are consolidating sideways, so they are actually getting out of the market. So what's happening right now? The complete opposite of what happened right here, right? Right now the long positions will be vulnerable for a long squeeze to the downside because you can see they are right now accumulating at resistance. We will be taking a look at the absorption. Let's have a look at the footprint, ladies and gentlemen. Right now we are trading below that resistance, below this neckline of our head and shoulders pattern that I will be talking about, and you can see we are already getting some buying imbalances on the order book suit. We are getting distribution, but the cumulative volume delta, okay, you can see the cumulative volume delta is actually creating a pressure. That's what's creating this buying stacked imbalances, and it's basically telling me right now that there is some absorption going on. So can this absorption result in a reversal to the downside? Well, right now it's a higher probability if there will not be any new buying volume that will help us to squeeze above this resistance. But at the moment long positions are being absorbed, all right, and they are going in with a huge amount, all right, but the price is not able to continue in an upside momentum so far, and we are creating a bearish divergences that I will be talking about. First of all, we will not not go through the weekly time frame right now because we have been already talking about that in the previous video. Let's take a look what's going on the high time frame chart. Nothing changed so far. Based on the volume, you can clearly see that the bears are still in power on the downside movement. We are getting more volume than on the upside movement right here. You can see right here this move also very weak volume, buying volume. Okay, we are nicely recovering from the ascending trend line that I have been talking about, and right now we will be fighting with this previous support. Now I can turn it into resistance at around $118,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we can also see that if we will start having the fourth wave that I have told you that will wick out with the highest probability right here at around $109,000, we will be retesting actually Fibonacci retracement level 0.618. all right, you know that this one you see everywhere in the nature, and it's the most important Fibonacci sequence from them all right. So if we will have a wick out, I will be definitely looking right here at that level. Ladies and gentlemen, if we will have some absorption of selling pressure, if I will see bullish confirmations, you know that I will be looking for the fifth wave that will take us to $135,000. Let's right now analyze the lower price action development. You know that we are creating this head and shoulders pattern on our website mycryptoparadise.com. You can see how to trade these patterns exactly. Basically, we have been waiting for this reclaim of the neckline, ladies and gentlemen, that will confirm that we will continue to go to the downside. So right now you can see this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder of our head and shoulders pattern. We have broken to the downside the neckline with a nice volume above moving average volume trend line, as you can see right here. Well, and for a successful reclaim, you don't only need the breakout, you also need a proper bearish retest, and that's with the highest probability what we are getting right now. You know that it's something similar happened right here. This is also one of the reasons why we have been able to predict this movement to the downside. How? Well, take a look at the momentum. Okay, the momentum on the previous high right here is very small. Take a look at the bullish momentum on the MACD histogram right here, and then take a look on the second retest. Take a look at the momentum, loads of bullish momentum going on, but the price action is creating bearish exaggerated divergence. The higher high is no possible. The way it created on the MACD histogram on the price action, there is no way it created the higher high, and that's why we have understood with the highest probability there is some buying absorption going on. And we have also seen that on the footprint. I have been sharing that with you in the previous video. We have seen that at the footprint that there is some selling exposure coming from the smart money, and the buying exposure from the retail is getting absorbed by the smart institutional limit orders. Ladies and gentlemen, something similar is happening right now. You know that in the previous video I've told you we are waiting for the second booby, right? Right here you can see we have got a second one a little bit higher, but overall it's still creating a bearish divergence. Right now you can see the high, the previous high was right here at this level. We are creating a lower high at this instance, but on the MACD histogram you can see a clear higher high. There is a possibility that we will be consolidating here for a bit, maybe a little bit of a wick out, which would be preferable because we would create this kind of fractal pattern with this section right here. One booby, second booby a little bit higher. You can see we have one right here, and second one would be a little bit higher as well. Anyway, if this section right here would not be able to create a higher high compared to this one, we are still creating a bearish divergence because it would end up as a lower high, and right here we would have a higher high, and actually it would be an extended one because compared with this momentum we are still creating a higher high versus lower high. Ladies and gentlemen, right now let's take a look what's going on lower time frames. You know that we are creating this 333 correction formation that is usually visible in a fourth wave of our impulse. You know that we are right now trading inside of this channel. From the higher degree perspective, we are creating a zigzag ABC. If this support zone will be holding, it will create a fourth wave, and we are going towards $135,000. If you have not watched the previous video, make sure you watch it because I've explained exactly what's going on. So right now we are creating the higher degree fourth wave. It's a corrective mode wave pattern 333, ladies and gentlemen, and I've told you with the highest probability the XX will be a zigzag. So let's have a look what we have gotten right here. In the latest video I've told you right here the liquidity pool between 0.618 and 786 Fibonacci retracement levels will be working as a support zone. It works perfectly, and we have got right now an upside momentum back to our descending trend line, and it will be acting as a resistance. As we can see right here, we have created from the zigzag perspective an A wave. B wave was finished right here in a zigzag itself, B wave, and right now we are creating a C wave. Ladies and gentlemen, what's important to understand, for in the zigzag, okay, in the zigzag, the A wave and C wave are motive mode waves. The B wave is a corrective mode wave, okay? So the motive mode wave subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. So let's calculate what's going on right here in the C wave. So this is the A wave, this is the B wave. We have calculated both of them already, and for us to understand where the C wave is going to finish, we need to calculate the subwaves properly of the C wave, okay? So this was the first wave, this was a secondary wave, and because of the rule of alternation, you can see that this is basically a sideways correction. Then we have got a third wave, which is not the shortest one, okay, which is important, and right now we are having a fourth wave. I have confirmed with the Paradise team that this is a fourth wave because of the rule of alternation. This is a sideways correction, this is a deep correction. After that, we have gotten a fifth wave, which is also a motive mode wave and subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. 1, 2, 3. I right now believe that we are creating a fourth wave, and there will be a space for fifth wave a little bit higher, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So right now we are creating a fourth wave, and the fifth wave will finish a little bit higher, and in my opinion, we will be touching deeply the $117,000 before we will start reversing to the downside, ladies and gentlemen. So you know that we have been predicting right here that we will start going to the upside with the highest probability, because we have confirmed right here the descending trend line. We have also touched the Fibonacci retracement level that I have been updating you about in the previous video. Because of that, with the Paradise Family VIPs, we have figured out that it's going to be the best not to open a long position for just a short movement. So we have went into some long positions. We have been taking some of the profit from our altcoins positions, ladies and gentlemen, recently. Also, we have taken some profit in our scalping channel right here, and also on Popcat right here. So this is very important to understand, that we are taking a profit, and if we will be seeing some confirmations right here at the top of the resistance, ladies and gentlemen, if we will see that we are creating some bearish candlestick patterns, some double top formation, we will definitely be looking to increase our portfolio short exposure on the secondary wave, because the secondary wave will be in the Z wave, the higher degree Z wave, clearly visible, right? And if this is going to hold, ladies and gentlemen, we are going down towards $108,000. It will be the Z wave, it will be the end of the higher time frame fourth wave, and ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, if this demand zone will be holding, we are going to the upside towards $135,000 before we will start a higher degree correction. So right now, it's important to wait how this resistance will be holding, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see clear absorption. We are already seeing something on the footprint right here. As you know, the buying pressure is increasing. There is buying imbalances, ladies and gentlemen, stacked ones at resistance. This is usually considering that we are not able to go above the previous high so far, suggesting that there is some buying absorption going on, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So bearish signs, definitely I will be looking for a short exposure increasement after confirmations that we are resuming our downtrend. We have already protected ourselves with Paradise Family VIPs, and if we will have the confirmations, we will definitely go having a dive deep into that $109,000. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying these videos, if you are getting a value, smash the like button, and I will see you again on Saturday. Cheers.
My crypto paradise.